All right. Looks like we're recording. Excellent. So today is December the 2nd. It is about 6:34. We are in the metals futures market right now. We're trading micro gold futures. There's a lot on my chart for you to look at this moment, but I'm developing a indicator that I think is going to be of interest to a whole lot of people. Um, there is something that I am exploring with the world of resonance and vibration. And I know that sounds very esoteric, and that's because it is. But there is a vibration, there is a harmony in these markets. And I'm going to teach you guys how you can spot it. There are endless lessons on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram about how to trade, and everyone has a certain way to trade. What I've developed here is a mix of some of the best, what I would call technical analysis, strategies, etc. And I've combined those confluences into my own strategy and into something that up until this point, I have not seen anything like it. So, what you're looking at on the chart with me here, um, earlier before the 6 o'clock open, you can see we had this giant impulse up. That impulse created this blue, red, and yellow candle. Okay. That blue, red, and yellow candle is called a resonance trinity, is what I call them. The reason that this is so significant and important is you can see here that the chart came back literally to the tick of the top of this resonance trinity right here. You can see it right here. These three candles pulled across. This dotted line right here is the 200 EMA, and this is a special formula for Heikinashi. And so I've got Heikinashi overlaid onto our chart. I also use the 200 EMA. Those are just there for confluence and for visual cues of where we are in the market and if I want to take a trade or not. I typically take trades from points of interest, and those can vary dependent upon if the chart's going down, if the chart's going up, what we're looking for. But there isn't, you won't find a lot of ICT methodology here. There's a little bit with liquidity pools, and I've got a great indicator that's free that everyone can use for that by the amazing people over at LuxAlgo. They've got a really nice liquidity pool identifier. So it's a combination of free indicators that anyone can get, and then, of course, my proprietary indicator that I will be selling for $99 a month. That will be going up on WAP here pretty soon after I finish off the second version of it. I've got some alerts and some things I want to add to it. But what I want you to see in while we are looking at this chart, this is all operated on the 1 minute time frame. Okay. And that's very important because that is the execution time that we take these trades. Now, most of the basics are there, right? You have, an uptrending market. You've got downtrending market, higher highs, higher lows. All of that basic stuff is in play. So you need to make sure you understand the technical analysis and technical chart reading, but it's just the basics, right? It's just basics. It's where's the liquidity, and on the 1 minute chart, are we significantly moving up? Are we significantly moving down? Or are we going sideways and compressing? So we want to wait for our moves, not in a compression market. We don't want to buy in compression. We want to buy when the market breaks out and makes its move, but not simply breaking out of a compression block or a consolidation block, if you want to call it that. You can see over here prior to 6 p.m., we had one in the late afternoon. It just jogged back and forth. And then finally, it had a nice little breakout to the downside. I didn't take this as my afternoon trade. I took the opposite trade. I took this big breakout here, and we did about 1,000 for the day on that. It was a beautiful trade. But let's quickly go into what I'm looking at, what's going on. So currently, you can see that we are above the 200 EMA, okay? So we're above the 200 EMA, so that creates a confluence for us that we are looking for buys, okay? We're looking for sales typically, if we follow the rules, if you're below the 200. But right now, we're above, so we're looking for buys. So if we go over to the last time that the buys were really significant, you can see it started down here. We tapped into this Resonance Trinity. We printed a Harmony candle, which is our blue candle, or our yellow candle, our Harmony candle. And you can see we had a crossover on our EMAs, and we push really, really big. And this was to take out this previous liquidity pool that was up here. So this was a giant push through. Now, the moment that this candle crossed the downtrend Heikinashi, you can see that this downtrending Heikinashi was going here for a while, and then we had this giant breakthrough. The moment that we broke through here was signal for me to take the long. Also, the increase in volume shows us that we wanted to go take out this liquidity pool. Okay, so that's very important to look at. If you are looking for a trade you want to take in a moment, you study volume, you look at where the liquidity pool is, and then we start counting our confluences. Above the 200 EMA, cracked the downtrending Heikinashi, big volume, liquidity pool up above. Okay. There's a number of ways to use this indicator, and I'm going to try to go over as many as possible. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to make these videos over and over and over to create the curriculum so that people can understand how to use it, because someone may use my indicator one way, someone may like to use it a different way. There's no one set way. There's many, many ways that this indicator can provide results for you. So, let's go back and look at kind of where we are now, and you'll notice that the candles that we've got right now, we have no resonance candles printing whatsoever. We're literally just chopping sideways, and we are sitting on a Heikinashi line right here. You can see it's where the uptrending Heikinashi meets the downtrending. You draw a line from there, which I'm going to have the indicator do that automatically for you, and we are respecting that as an area. So you can see we're sandwiched between the Heikinashi low right here, which has not been mitigated. We haven't broken through and closed below it yet. And we're trapped in between. So we're kind of sandwiched in between a downtrending Heikinashi and this bottom Heikinashi line right here. Looks like we've just printed our first resonance candle, and EMAs are trying to cross up. Typically, what you'll see, and again, there's lots of things to go over here, but typically what you'll see is you will get a shifted candle, right? So what happens is you get a bunch of standard bullish and bearish candles, and right now with the red above, we are downtrending on the EMAs, and then you can see we're starting to just sort of cross right here, but this is our indicator candle with this little green triangle, okay? That is telling us that the downtrend is starting to look like it's going to end. And this basically prognosticates that we're going to start moving up. So this is our indicator candle to show us that we're going to start moving up. If you print one of these, you can always take a long, and you do have the Heikinashi you want to break through first, but you could take a long and put your stop, below this Heikinashi line right here. You could do that. That would be a valid trade and have a stop loss that would be worthwhile. So we'll continue to watch here. We do have a crossover, so this is nice. Now what we're doing is we hit the Heikinashi and we're rejecting. What I want to see is I want to see us break through here. So let's look real quick, and I will just set up a long position here. Let's just say after our signal candle and our cross, something like that. And you could move your stop loss like this, okay? So this is all live. This is all in real time. So you can see where stop loss would be and where you would get going. Now, if we do break above the Heikin Ashi here, the Heikin Ashi line, what we need is a target. So right now you can see with this red line above, we are in this downtrend. What you want to look for is the last significant uptrend. That would be probably this one, although I would say that this isn't a great example because this was just a big volume surge to sweep liquidity. Probably a better indication of a significant uptrend. Let's see, we crossed here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles, 8 candles. That's sort of okay. What you'd want to look for on an uptrend is your last green resonant candle, which is this one right here. Okay, everybody see that? So you had a EMA cross, you printed a blue ignition, and you went all the way up here, and this was the last green candle, green resonant candle. You see it's wrapped in a green border, green resonant candle, before we had a crossover. So let's go get our horizontal line tool, our ray tool, and at the bottom of our bullish candle, we want to draw a line. Okay? So we want to draw a line. Let's change our color here to blue. And this is our target. So the reason that this is our target is, well, you can see right here. it literally already broke through the target. So when we were taking this long over here, it just took me forever to explain it. Our trade would have already won, right? So you can see that I called our target. I didn't even have the chart over here, but I called our target. And there's a reason, a very specific reason why, proprietary to me and to this indicator, as to why this was the target zone. We've now hit our target. Look at this trade, y'all. Amazing trade. Wish I would have taken it while we were on screen. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start streaming this, and we're just going to start making a ton of content over and over and over. And I'm going to show you how this indicator works. This is beyond anything you've ever seen. There is a very, very specific reason that these candles indicate what they indicate.